Grand ballroom of the Ritz-Carlton in downtown Chicago shimmered under 1,000 crystal chandeliers. It was Evelyn Thorne's 70th birthday gala, a spectacle that had drawn the city's wealthiest and most influential. Tables overflowed with caviar, truffles, and vintage champagne. The air was heavy with the scent of orchids and designer perfumes. Everyone who mattered was there: senators, CEOs, socialites, all eager to pay homage to the matriarch of the Harrington family. Lila Harrington stood awkwardly near the edge of the room, clutching a modest glass of sparkling water. She had spent weeks sewing her own dress, a simple navy gown from inexpensive fabric, to avoid dipping into the tight family budget her husband always mentioned. At 35, Lila was a quiet high school literature teacher, soft-spoken and unassuming. Her long brown hair was pinned in a neat bun, and she wore no jewelry except her plain wedding band. Across the room, her husband, Alexander Harrington, moved like a king among his subjects. Tall, impeccably dressed in a bespoke tuxedo, he laughed loudly, shaking hands and accepting congratulations. To the world, Alex was the brilliant CEO of Harrington Enterprises, a tech conglomerate worth billions. To Lila, he was the man who had swept her off her feet 12 years ago, promising forever, but forever had turned sour. For years, Alex and his mother Evelyn had treated Lila like an embarrassing secret. Evelyn's barbs were constant. Why don't you dress properly, dear? You look like a school mime. Alex's complaints were endless. Can't you at least try to fit in? You're dragging my image down. Lila spotted Alex heading toward her, his smile fading into a scowl. He grabbed her elbow tightly. Why are you hiding in the corner like some poor relation? He hissed, his voice low but venomous. Go to the head table. Mother's about to speak. She nodded meekly, accustomed to the routine. As she approached the elevated table where Evelyn held court in a glittering emerald gown, Lila's heart pounded. She wanted to wish her mother-in-law a happy birthday quietly, as expected. Evelyn, as she began softly, stepping forward. Happy birth. Evelyn spun dramatically, her elbow accidentally slamming into Lila's arm. The champagne flute Lila had just picked up flew from her hand, shattering on the marble floor. Bubbles spread in a dark stain, a few drops splashing onto Evelyn's dress. The orchestra stopped mid-note. Conversation died. Hundreds of eyes turned to Lila. Evelyn gasped theatrically. Oh dear. Well, what did I expect from someone so clumsy? Alex was at her side in seconds, face crimson with rage. He didn't ask what happened. He didn't help Lila. You idiot, he roared, loud enough for the entire room to hear. Can't you do anything right? You're embarrassing the entire family. Alex, she bumped me, Lila whispered, voice trembling. Shut up, he snapped. Look at you, dressed like a pauper. I pulled you out of that nothing town, and this is how you repay me, Dot. He seized her arm, dragging her through the center of the ballroom. Guests parted like the Red Sea, some smirking, others averting their eyes. Alex, you're hurting me, Lila pleaded quietly. Good. Let everyone see what I have to deal with, he shouted. Your presence is a disgrace to this family. Get out. At the doors, 2 security guards materialized. Alex shoved Lila toward them. Escort her to the car. Lock her in until I decide what to do with her. The guards gripped her arms firmly. Lila didn't fight. Shock had numbed her. As they led her out into the chilly night, sparse applause rippled through the ballroom, approval for the strong a man restoring order. Outside, a black limousine waited. The guards pushed her into the back seat, slamming the door. The locks clicked. Through tinted windows, Lila watched the lit ballroom, tears streaming down her face. She pounded on the glass futilely. "Let me out," as she sobbed. "Please." The driver, an elderly man named Mr. Ellis, had been with the family for decades. He was usually silent, almost invisible. Now, he turned off the engine and looked into the rearview mirror. "Miss Lila," he said calmly, his voice steady. "Please stop crying. Your father has completed the transfer. This car, the guards, the company, everything is yours now. What would you like to do with Mr. Alexander?" Lila froze, mascara running down her cheeks. "What? Oh, what are you talking about?" To understand how a simple literature teacher reached this moment, we must go back 1 hour. The gala was in full swing when Lila first felt out of place. She had married Alex 12 years earlier, enchanted by his charm. He had courted her relentlessly in her small hometown, where she taught English at the local high school. Her father, Thomas Reed, lived quietly on a remote farm, rarely visiting. Alex painted him as a reclusive failure, and Lila, ashamed, rarely mentioned him. Over the years, Alex's true nature emerged. He controlled the finances, criticizing every purchase. Evelyn mocked Lila's provincially ways. Lila endured it for love, believing Alex's promises that things would improve once the company stabilized. But tonight, the humiliation peaked. After the champagne incident, Alex's outburst shattered something inside her. Locked in the limo, despair overwhelmed her. Mr. Ellis handed her a tablet. "Look at this." The screen showed corporate registry documents. Owner, Lila M. Reed Harrington. Harrington Enterprises. But Alex is the CEO. He's the owner, as she whispered. "No, ma'am," Mr. Ellis replied, a faint smile on his lips. He was a hired executive. Your father set up a blind trust 12 years ago. Alex's contract was for exactly 12 years, to test his character. It expired at midnight last night. Lila's mind reeled. Her father, a billionaire? Testing Alex? He wanted to see if Alex truly loved you, Mr. Ellis continued. Or if he was after the inheritance. Today, he showed his colors. He produced an envelope. And this, divorce papers Alex planned to serve tomorrow. He intended to leave you with nothing. The papers claimed Lila had no assets, no contributions to the marriage. Rage replaced Lila's tears. 12 years of scrimping, enduring insults, loving a man who saw her as a temporary obstacle. "Open the door," as she said, voice hardening. Mr. Ellis complied, handing her cash from a reserve fund. For immediate use. Lila stepped out, smoothing her dress. It no longer felt cheap, it felt like armor. The guards, who had ejected her minutes ago, hesitated. Mr. Ellis gave a subtle signal. They stepped aside. Lila re-entered the ballroom. Silence spread like wildfire. The orchestra stopped. Alex, mid-laugh with guests, turned purple with fury. What the hell? Security. The guards entered but stood impassively. Lila ascended the stage, taking the microphone. "Good evening," as she said clearly. "I have an announcement. I, Lila Reed Harrington, am the sole owner of Harrington Enterprises." Gasps echoed. Alex laughed nervously. "She's having a breakdown. Someone help her down." But Lila continued. Due to financial irregularities, this event, paid illegally from company funds, is terminated. Please leave. Alex lunged. You're insane. Security, remove her. The guards blocked him instead. Owner's orders, sir. Lila addressed the head waiter. Your staff hasn't been paid in months. She handed him cash. Settle debts now, with bonuses. The waiter distributed money openly. Guests recoiled. Stiffing staff was unforgivable in their circle. Alex stood isolated, sweat beading. His empire crumbled publicly. The guests filed out silently. It wasn't just a party ending, it was social annihilation. Next morning, Alex stormed the company tower, flashing his keycard. Denied. The receptionist, usually fawning, avoided his eyes. A notice on the board. Removal of CEO Alexander Harrington. Signed, L.M. Reed Harrington. He raged, but security escorted him out. At home, gates locked. He climbed, smashed windows, neighbors called police. Lila watched from upstairs with Mr. Ellis. Documents from Alex's safe revealed the truth. Photos of her family, stalked before their meeting. A contract. Alex married her for seed capital, full ownership after 12 years, forfeited if he initiated divorce early. He'd waited, resenting her. Intercepted letters from her father, forged replies making him think she was ashamed. And worst, fertility clinic payments. Alex had paid doctors to diagnose false infertility, prescribing contraceptives disguised as treatments. He didn't want children complicating his plan. Lila's world shattered anew. No children because he stole that dream. His mistress, pregnant, confronted Lila at school, only to flee when exposed. Alex lost everything. Car repossessed, cards blocked, fake luxury exposed. His mother Evelyn, whose condo was mortgaged fraudulently by Alex, betrayed him on live TV to save herself. In the end, at a school concert, Alex burst in, demanding his company back. But the community, parents, students, protected Lila. She offered 2 choices: prison for fraud, embezzlement, forgery, or exile to a remote company outpost in northern Canada, menial work repaying debts. Terrified of jail, he signed. Months later, Harrington Enterprises became Reed Foundation, funding education. Lila, reconciled with her father, thrived. Tests showed her fertility restored. One snowy day, driving through Chicago, she spotted a figure in municipal orange vest, clearing streets. Alex, stooped, broken, chipping ice. Their eyes met briefly through the window. Lila felt nothing. No pity, no hate. Just peace. The car drove on. Her new life, full of hope, love, possibility, awaited.